QBs. Brian Billick, the NFL on Fox, back with us. He's got Bears at the Browns coming up on Sunday. Well, let's start there. You have drama here. Josh McCown, Jay Cutler. If you know both are healthy, Brian, who do you start in that game on the road at Cleveland?
Boy, what a great problem to have. Josh McCown's played so well, but I think clearly the Bears want to know about Jay Cutler. They want Jay Cutler to be their quarterback. They've handled this from day one when you contrast that to the mess that's going on in Washington, where they've made it very clear from the head coach to the backup to the quarterback himself to the other players on the team that Jay Cutler is our quarterback. Now, whether they had brought him back or not, that just diminished the controversy, the distractions, and who's going to play, who's not going to play. And now they've decided to start Jay Cutler because they need to know if they're going to sign Jay Cutler to a big contract at the end of the year. They want to see these next 3 games, hopefully parlay that into the playoffs, decide, are you going to give him one of those mega contracts, or are you going to go in another direction? And he's got to play to do that. And, oh, by the way, we got Josh McCown in our back pocket who's played pretty darn well if indeed it doesn't go well.
I would have stayed with Josh McCown, but I understand what you have to do now and what this could mean long term. I think going to Cutler now, considering how well Josh McCown has played, means that they're going to be committed to Jay Cutler. Because if you're not, then what's 3 more games here and maybe a first-round playoff game? If that's you want to stay with Josh McCown and worry about the now. I think they're worried about the now, but they're also looking big picture to say to Jay, we made a commitment to you and put you ahead of the guy who's the top-rated quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think that's a valid observation, and you're talking about a coach in his first year and a general manager that clearly are going forward together and making both short-term and long-term decisions versus what's going on in Washington. I've been saying all week that I think from outside, I don't know, I'm not dialed into it. I'm just making observations from the outside, living in the D.C. area, watching Mike Shanahan and what he's done now with RG3. To me, that strikes me as a coach that's making a long-term decision. He wants his quarterback to be healthy. And that is a long-term decision where others are just saying, no, this means that he's gone at the end of the year and he's going with the other guy, and this is just a way to put it out there. So hard to read exactly what's going on in Washington. Totally different situation than what's going on in Chicago.
Okay, but speaking of the Redskins here, John Madden came out and said that you're sort of messing with the integrity of the game if you have a quarterback who the coach says is 100%, and now you're going to shut him down for the rest of the season. You have a big game coming up with Dallas next week. Are they messing with the integrity of the game by not starting their best quarterback?
Well, let's spin this forward to the next couple of weeks or the last week of the season when playoffs positionings are set and we see quarterbacks across the league being sat down.
Yeah.
Because is that the integrity of the game? Yeah, it is. It's understandable. You're going to do it as a coach. But, yeah, I don't like it any more than the fans like it, any more than league like it. But you're going to do it as a coach because if I don't have anything on the line with regards to playoff positioning and I have a chance to rest some key characters, I've never liked that as a coach. I had a tough time telling one guy, look, you're so important, we want to rest you. Oh, you're a slappy, so you got to play their double. That's hard for me to do. But you do it because you covet that extra rest and being fresh and re-energized going into the playoffs.
But I just find it ironic that now the Redskins care about RG3's health. The time to care was last year in the postseason, and not let him start the season without any reps in I mean, come on. I mean, it's silly. Just apply logic to this of somebody coming back from that type of devastating injury. And I know he wanted to come back and got involved with his whole shoe campaign, and I'm coming back, and I'm going to be starting. And I would have sat him down first month of the season, said that at the time, and now we look back, I think, and everybody's in agreement.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're exactly right. You say it out loud, and it does sound ridiculous. And what does it say about the Redskins that we're so bad, I don't think we can protect our quarterback, so I'm not going to put him in. That's now have to go into the owner. I've been saying all week that I think this is an indication that Mike Shanahan stays. I know Adam Schefter, the insider, he's on speed dial to Shanahan. He says he's gone, so who am I to question that relationship? But some curious decisions, if indeed Shanahan is out of there, it's almost, look, I'm not going to be around for this mess, so I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, I think there's games being played there. Brian Billick, the NFL on Fox. He's got the Bears and the Browns coming up this weekend. Best team in the AFC is who?
Wow. On a bet?
Yeah.
I don't make that bet because that was substantial last night to see San Diego go into Denver. I've been saying all along that I'm looking for that signature team that can go on the road and get that big road win. And I'm talking about the Seattles. I'm talking about Denvers. I'm talking about the top end, those that are currently in the playoffs. And to say, okay, this is the bona fide leader in the clubhouse in terms of being a Super Bowl participant, outside of the fact that they're going to play at home. And you'd say Denver, but going into this, you'd say Denver and Seattle. Clearly, yeah. I haven't seen that team that I think in the NFC that can go in and beat Seattle in Seattle. I didn't think I had seen that team that could go into San Diego or into Denver and beat Denver in Denver. Yet we just saw that. So that, to me, that changes the price of poker, as does the loss of Gronkowski in New England. I don't know that the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens, who I think are going to get hot at the right time. This is a wide open field. If I'm a betting man, and I'm not, but if I were, I'm not sleeping real well making bets on the AFC.
Any chance Bill Belichick is the coach of the year? Whether it's not the official coach of the year, but maybe as a former coach looking at what he's done with New England this year?
I think Bill is under the difficulty of, because he's had so much success, the bar is set so high, you always give it to somebody else. I think because of the Spygate thing, there's always that lingering hesitation. Well, do we really want to make this guy coach of the year? But to me, it's like it's Tom Brady. I've said this about Tom Brady, and I could probably say the same thing about Bill Belichick. If they can parlay this into, not even a Super Bowl win, but can make a run through the playoffs, get home field, maybe be in the championship game with what they've gone through and the rotating receivers and who hasn't been there, forget the rules. At the end of the season, you don't wait for them to retire. To suspend the 5-year thing. Just slam dunk them both right into the Hall of Fame.
Before I let you go, and I know you probably haven't studied film, but if I look at the quarterbacking candidates going into the NFL, Manziel, McCarron, Winston, he's not yet, but Teddy Bridgewater, you got Derek Carr. If you were looking at the guy that you would take the chance on for the number 1 overall pick, or the guy that can't miss, who's the guy who can't miss out of the group?
Wow. First off, we'll go round and round this round. There's no such thing as the can't miss. There are some that are pretty good odds. I haven't looked at that group. I'm going to be political here. I'm going to take a page out of President Obama's phraseology. I'm evolving, in my opinion, of Johnny Manziel. I didn't think before. I thought he was just a great college quarterback.
Come on board here, Brian. Join me. There's still seats in first class with me.
He is showing some signs that are intriguing to me. Everybody's talking about this Bridgewater kid. I see some things with that. He needs some physical maturity. There's going to be a bunch out there. What's going to be interesting is we've gone in cycle where we pulled a bunch of quarterbacks in the first round that didn't belong there, from a Christian Ponder to a Blaine Gabbert to a Jake Locker. I'll even throw in Ryan Tannehill there, to where we knee-jerked last week and we put them all in the second round except E.J. Manuel. I'm going to be interested to see if this now we knee-jerk the other way and pull a bunch of these guys into the first round.
Have fun this weekend. Thank you, Brian, for joining us.
Sounds good.
All right, Brian Billick, NFL on Fox.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.